Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to be talking about Greater Gospel Magic by Duane Laflin. You know, I didn't get this book when it first came out, and I regretted it, and then I had to go back, and as you know, once a magic book comes out and it sells through its cycle, you got to go back and pay more than the asking price for it to get it, and that's what I did. I ended up paying more than the book is really valued at because I really wanted the book, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I went out and bought. I mean, look at this. This is right now. This is the tome on gospel magic. This is the one book that you definitely want to get your hands on if you're interested in this field. Now, you might be saying, well, you know what? I'm not a Christian. I'm not a believer. I don't care about the gospel magic field. I don't blame you if you're not, you know. But I'm speaking now to those who are. And I'll tell you this: if you're watching this and you're not a gospel performer, you might have an interest in bizarre. And I really see a relationship between gospel performers and bizarrists. Now you might say, well, gosh, aren't they kind of on opposite ends of the spectrum? You know, think about it a second. A bizarrist is taking material and bringing story to it that brings it to life. It's the same thing a gospel magician's doing. I mean, we have such a relationship. If you've studied bizarre and you're a Christian or a believer and you want to present gospel magic, you know, you're well equipped to do. You're probably better equipped to do that than the average gospel magician. People that come up in gospel, I think one of the things that Duane is trying to address here is the stereotype, and by that I mean you have the youth pastor or the children's pastor who's looking for a way to captivate attention. So they've tried everything, and now they're looking at gospel magic. They're not magicians. They're not bizarrists. They're ministry people who are looking to magic to create illustrations and to use gospel magic in a way that's going to captivate attention and hold attention so they can present their message. You know, so what you end up having, because you have this culture in gospel magic that is selling, you know, I hate to say it, but it's not the highest quality magic. And so you have something that might be really good in terms of an illustration, but might be really bad in terms of magic. And so by Greater Gospel Magic, Duane is taking that title, and you might, if you're a magician, you're familiar with Greater Magic, you're familiar with that, right? Greater Magic was written by John Northern Hilliard, and it was published or released in 1938. And John Northern Hilliard he took 715 effects contributed by 100 different magicians, and he wanted to elevate magic. That was his stated purpose, to create greater magic. Well, Duane's stated purpose is to create better gospel magic and better gospel magicians. And I think that his theory and the way he presents that and the way he encourages that is the best part of this book. He also has a couple of chapters on marketing, and he deals with fees and what to ask for. I'm not going to disclose that here because, again, it's his material. It's not mine to disclose, but it's the best advice I've ever seen in a gospel magic book in terms of the kinds of fees to ask for, how to ask for them, how to market, how to solicit business. It's really a wonderful text for that. It's a wonderful text for theory. Now here's my criticism. The latter part of the book, see where this bookmark is? The latter part of the book, about half of the book, is devoted to gospel magic, to gospel magic effects. And he takes some very classic things, the cut and restored rope, the Professor's Nightmare, 20th century silks, and he brings gospel messages to them. You know, I do gospel magic. I solicit churches, I go in, I do gospel magic. And I try to elevate, I try to do, first of all, I'm doing magic that presents the message well. That's criteria number one. You have to choose effects that illustrate the message. You can't just throw a trick out there and make something up. I mean, that's just not, bizarrists don't do that, and gospel magicians should not do that. It needs to gel. It needs to work. And then secondly, you need to choose material that's strong. If you're billing yourself as a gospel magician, make sure you're doing strong material. That's my suggestion to you. And not all of the material in here is that strong. That would be my criticism of this. There's some great gospel performers out there. Duane is one of them. If you watch his YouTube stuff, he does wonderful, wonderful work. And there are many fine performers out there. I appreciate what he did. I appreciate the effort that he made. By the way, Duane Laflin is a seminary graduate. He was a pastor, a very successful pastor. He felt called to go into this field, and God has prospered him in this field, and he's made a major contribution here. So if you are a gospel performer or want to be, definitely look into studying this book. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate that you did. Please comment down below. Please subscribe if you've not done so already. Have a great day.